Hi, this is Caroline Gentry with Engerati. We're here on day one of the EIT InnoEnergy Business Booster, and we have with us the CEO of InnoEnergy, Diego Pavia. So thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Okay, so we're almost at the end of day one. How's it going so far?
Well, it's going very well because, like in any event, the planning is just the recipe for success. So we entered the room this morning at 9 o'clock. Then we had already 1,600 meetings between innovators and customers or financiers already prearranged. So that means that that's the recipe for success. Yeah.
What would you say is the main sort of mission of InnoEnergy?
Well, InnoEnergy, what we do is we identify innovators that can make a difference by making an impact in sustainable energy. Then we scrutinize their business case, whether they will fly and they will reach the potential to make an impact. And what we do together with entrepreneurs is to identify the dimensions where we can support the case. It's not only about finance. Finance is like, the sixth dimension. It's about the team, it's about the supply chain, the off-takers, the growth in other markets, the industrialization of their own goodie. And then we handshake with them what they need. We serve those services. In exchange, we get an equity position.
Yeah. It's an interesting development, the way that utilities are working with startups now.
Yeah.
How is that? It's been a fairly sort of recent phenomenon.
I would say that back in 2013, utilities had the not invented here syndrome, 6 years ago. Now they understand that innovation, because of the speed, is happening everywhere. So they have to interact with those that are more dynamic and more adaptive, that is the startups. And it's not only from their own geography, but it's also from other geographies. So now you see that ecosystems are really starting to like a soup, to become denser and denser. And also that has obliged the utilities to change in terms of people that run these interactions.
Yeah. And are there any startups here that you think, or any innovations that will be particularly disruptive?
Well, the disruption for me is not because they are extremely fancy, it's like to put a man in the moon. It's because of the upscaling that they can achieve, they will change the game. And as we know, electromobility, in 20 years, none of us will be driving or buying a combustion engine car. So is that fancy? Well, it's not very exciting, it's not very sexy, but in terms of impact, that's extremely important. There are others like, taking all the waste that we're producing as Europeans, because all the wealthy economies, they produce all the waste, and to transform that in something that is first in the money, and second, that will allow us to stop burning other hydrocarbons. So I'm much more for the impactful rather than the fancy, happy-lucky, disruptive things that will take much longer time.
And do you have any advice for startups? If you have a small startup with a team of just a few people, what should they be focusing on?
I've been a serial entrepreneur myself, so I have created 7 companies in my lifetime. 1 maybe free, 3 bankrupt, 3 still going on. And I would say there are 3 things. Number 1 is a team. Surround you by the most passionate guys with the impact you want to do. Number 1. Number 2 is be ready to work like hell. It's 24/7 for many years until. And number 3 is all about being in a trusted ecosystem. The world, the same moment that I'm trying to innovate in something, there's a Chinese, there's 10 Japanese, 3 Americans. So the ecosystem is what will make you the winner, is not the technology in itself. So think about the ecosystem you're in, and that's what we bring.
And this morning we heard from the CEO of EDF. It sounds like you have quite a good partnership going on there. Any sort of particularly standout things that he said this morning?
Well, this morning he shared some numbers that if you put them in the context of the other players in Europe, they're outstanding. 1.5 million charging points. If you look today, that will be 10%, 100% more. That is the plans of everybody together. You heard about 30 gigawatts of PV installed. That's against a massive thing. That's around 8 billion euros worth of capex. You heard about 10 gigawatts of storage for hybridization of renewable sourcing, as well as grid control and behind the meter. So the numbers that they shared with the audience today just is a proof of the huge commitment of the turning around of one of the big utilities in the world, that's EDF.
Yeah, great. What about day 2? What have we got in store tomorrow?
Oh. First I have to assimilate what's happened today. And tomorrow it's, again, is back to making transactions between innovators and customers and financiers. Tomorrow we'll have on stage as panelists the EIB, that is the European Investment Bank, that has been an extreme good partner for InnoEnergy to support the innovators when they are in the first of a kind and the demonstration side. So again, a nice good day to be looking for.
Great. Well, thanks very much for having us here.
My pleasure.
And for your time today. Thank you.
Perfect.